Hi, friends. How we doing? I'm back. We're playing the Stanley Parable again because we got to approximately 0 of the Ultra Deluxe content last time. We played the Stanley Parable for 3.5 hours or something like that. And we got to none of the content. Look who decided to show up. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I feel so tired. And I feel like I got good sleep last night. I think. I'm pretty sure I got good sleep last night. Guys, I had this dream. That there was this, like, Yeti monster in my house, and I was playing hide and seek with him. And then I won. And he gave me this toy. And it was like a round toy. And you would grab this, not round, like a pole. Imagine a vibrator, if you would. 50 stream streak, slay! Right after I said imagine a vibrator. But you held this, imagine one of those, hold on. Imagine one of those rolly things that you use to get out the knots in your calves after you run. A roller. They're called a rolling pin. Imagine a rolling pin. It was like that, but the middle was the face of a girl, like a cartoony face of a girl, and you would roll it and she would, like, talk, right? And he gave me one of those toys, and then she wouldn't stop talking even though I wasn't rolling the toy anymore, and the fucking battery inside of her exploded, caught on fire, and then I'm, like, yelling at my dad to put out the fire, and he won't fucking listen to me. I'm, like, shoving a fire extinguisher in his hand. He goes to take the fire extinguisher, goes to put out the small fire. The thing actually explodes. It's a bigger fire. Everyone in my neighborhood shows up, and they're like, oh my god, what's going on? The fire's getting put out. People aren't calling 911. And one of my friends shows up. It's one of my friends that lives in my neighborhood, so I would expect them to be there. And he walks all the way up to me, provides me 0 emotional comfort. By the way, I'm freaking the fuck out. There was just a fire in my house. I just watched this thing explode in front of my dad. My dad could have died. Providing me 0 emotional support. I'm just over here witnessing this fire. And you know what? I think the psychology behind it is the fact that I did actually witness a house fire a couple weeks ago. Did I talk about this? I watched a house catch on fire, and there was a small explosion. Okay. And I think that's where that dream came from, is witnessing this house fire. And then I was just thinking about it just now. I was thinking about this while I was putting on makeup. I was like, okay, guys, I don't know if I'm, like, on my period or what, but I feel like my face looks different to me, and I don't like it. It's kind of freaking me the fuck out. Like, I feel like my face looks round. Anyways, I was putting on makeup. Noticed that while I was putting on makeup. That's why I said that. And I was like, man, if that house had fully caught on fire, and from where I was standing, if that house exploded, would I survive? How far away from an exploding house do you have to be to live? Because if that house exploded, my dad would have been dead. My dad, like, ran to the house and was, like, helping everyone out of the house, and for some reason the neighbor next door had all the gunpowder. I did talk about this. He was bringing the gunpowder. My dad would have died if that house exploded, right? But I was, like, across the street. It's like this, and this is the house that was on fire, and this is my house. Would I have died? No. I was 3 houses away. But I was thinking about it, I would have had a really good view. And I would have gotten some good videos. And if I caught that explosion on camera, I do not wish ill upon anyone. I'm very grateful that Nobody was hurt, and the fire was not as big as it seemed. But the content... Okay, maybe I'm a bad person. Fine, I'll admit it. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I wouldn't post it on YouTube. I'd, like, send it to a news source. I'm just thinking. Sometimes I think so many things. I was also thinking about how I'm so tired, and maybe I didn't get as good a sleep as I thought I did. But then I was like, man, what would I even say to someone? They're like, how was your night last night? And I would go, oh, like, I just couldn't fall asleep. And they're like, yeah, I mean, it happens. Sometimes you just can't fall asleep. And I'm like, no, it's because I was laying awake and picturing myself having to break the news to my friends and family that I was diagnosed with a terminal illness. How do you explain that to someone? What is that, anxiety? That happens a lot. I'll, like, keep myself up thinking, like, oh my god, what would happen if I had to, like, explain to people that I was sick? What would happen if I had to break the news that somebody died? What would happen if someone broke the news to me that somebody died? And then I just start spiraling, and next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. and I did not get good sleep last night. I forgot. I didn't go to sleep until like 3:30. I had a tummy ache. I share so much. I speak so many words. So much shit comes out of my mouth. And like, what? Wait, I want to try something. Guys, you see the shirt that I'm wearing? You don't. You see the shirt that I'm wearing? It's a skeleton, right? It's got the back too. It glows in the dark, and sometimes I'll fall asleep in this shirt and I'll like wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, what the fuck is glowing on my chest? And it's just my shirt. I wanted to see if you guys could see it if I turned off all of the lights in here, but it is very bright outside. So I don't think that would actually work. Because I think even if I turn all the lights off and close the window, I think it would still be too bright. I should have tried this in the winter. You know what? No. I was going to say next time I do like a 24-hour stream and we're for sure going to be live at 2 a.m., I'll do it, but you guys just got to trust me. It glows in the dark and it's really freaking cool. I love it. I love this shirt. It's got the back. Wow. Okay. Yep, yeah. Okay. Hey, suckboo. Hey, how you doing? Okay, I don't, like... Okay, also... Whatever. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, we're gonna play a Stanley Parable. I'll stop fucking talking. You know, all of the big guys... You know, all of the big streamers... they start their streams with, like, an hour of just chatting. I don't like the way my face looks. Actually... What the fuck is going on? Where did my cursor go? My god. Yeah, this is all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that everyone else gets to talk. Why can't I talk? I do talk. Whether you like it or not. Guys, let's play the freaking Stanley Parable. I'm so excited. We're gonna get to the Ultra Deluxe. So, you know, and the problem is... Okay, there we go. The cursor was not showing up. What time is it? 3. No. I'm gonna 3:22. Ooh, we really are late today. My bad. Didn't mean to. We're waiting. We're waiting for it to actually hit 322. Boom. We gotta be precise. Hang on, hang on. Oh. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. Oh. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Okay. So, can I start the... Oh. No. Wouldn't it be cool if I could start the game from there? Alright. Hold on, let's see. Alright, we are back with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. This time, we're gonna actually dive into the Ultra Deluxe content.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yippee!
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
We're gonna watch the cutscene again.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month.
I love Stanley.
Year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Yes, sir.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I got an achievement for leaving the game and coming back. Well. Oh, brother. No, it's fine. I forgot how crazy this stuff is. You know, I saw in the achievement section, guys, sometimes I look at the achievements. It is cheating, I don't care. If you, like, fandangle with all of the stuff, you get an achievement. But I'm not gonna do that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Where's the new content? New content, please. I wonder if these actually say anything. I don't think they do. I don't think they mean anything. Aha!
Oh,
boom.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
Yes, sir. Let's go. Oh. I'm so excited. This is my favorite ride at Disney World.
Hello, and thank you you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
You're so welcome.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Why am I actually, like, entertained?
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Yippee!
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Me too.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we
Help.
be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go.
Oh.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I love the narrator. This would be nice with some
I have
music.
to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh! My bad. I can jump?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
What?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Oh my god. This is awesome. I'm gonna use up all my jumps. Yippee! I can jump! Oh man. Why am I limited to how many jumps I can jump? I actually can't jump anymore. What the you bitch. Okay, fine. Fine. Why was that kind of scary?
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
Yeah.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box.
That's...
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Yeah, why are you...
I knew there had to be something else.
Narrator...
Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
You need to You need to shut up. Oh.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You
Hey.
see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason
What
other
the
than to make
heck?
an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
It
What
does.
quality assurance department signed
It
off on
does
this?
actually say
I'm
that.
infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley.
Period.
I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could
the
never
fuck?
have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
No.
No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Friend? I don't... Narrator? Narrator. Huh.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Hold on. Oh. God damn. I could not. Okay, fine, let's go. Oh. What is it, narrator? This is very exciting.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What is this? Incredible! What is this? Look at it! It's beautiful.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Hell yeah. The Memory Zone. Whoa! Wait, it's so cute. Oh, well.
You see, Stanley,
Don't
doesn't the
forget.
Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched?
I
Back
was
then,
12.
video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Our first kiss, my first car, the release of the Stanley Parable in 2013. Wow. The Memory Zone temp. Look at all of these. They're so cute. Can I open this? Memory, sweet memory. Oh, I remember that. That's the original ending. Oh. And these are the magazines. Look it. Collector's edition. What is this even? Whoa. Okay. 2014 Independent Games Festival. Wow. Did they actually win an award? Oh. Not a BAFTA. What is... Who's the actual name? The Last of Us. That's crazy. Good times. Ah, thank God I went through the Stanley Parable before I went to the Ultra Deluxe stuff. The original remake. Wow. Linguistics identify 15,000-year-old ultra-conserved word... What? Okay. Trip down memory lane. Ooh. Smile because it happened. Wow. It's so cute. What does that say? Demonstration? Is that what demo stands for? Go outside. 5 years. Unachievable. It's impossible to get this achievement. Interesting. BAFTA nominee. What is it? Game innovation, debut game, story. New video game releasing today. Wow. 50% off designer hat. This is so fun. Oh! It's the ending where I die. Incredible. Incroyable. Oh. Little Stanley. Shut up. Oh, that's so sad. I mean, it's beautiful.
Je suis dans la mémorisation, c'est sur la pluie des loups.
Hello?
Et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com.
Wow.
James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created.
That's crazy.
How grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now
Skyrim.
it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
It's the Stanley
just a
Parable
husk
Ultra Deluxe.
now. A lifeless husk
Look at these
with
candles.
an hour of new elevator content.
Hello? Minecraft. It was good. Stanley Parable. Portal? Man, I must have missed some shit, huh? I don't want to go down there. Person of the year. That's me. Oh, I can't decipher that. Well, hold on, I'm curious. Okay. The end is never the end. For Scott. Congrats, Scott. Wait, was this actually a thing? No shot. I guess 2013 was a long time ago. 29? Oh, man.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley
9.
Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
Yep.
It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be
Architectures.
left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting
way.
dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Hey, guy. The serious room. Guy. I can't get over there.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Why is it kind of scary? Whoa.
Oh,
All the
no.
bad reviews?
God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the
Uh-oh.
online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Not
Surely
good
these
things.
reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Surely. I'm almost positive. Oh.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and
Oh.
unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to
I
be
mean,
more
I didn't say it.
irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
This is so cool. Secrets? What are you playing? They're playing music out of that truck. What are you listening to? I'm going this way. Okay, fine. I'll go the way you want me to go. I can't believe I didn't see Portal. You're telling me I didn't see Minecraft and Portal? What did I... Okay. No. Okay, we can cool it with the lightning. Let's relax. Oh, here we go.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
I wonder
While
if
the
these are...
idea for the
I mean, they
game's
have to
good,
be real reviews,
for
right?
someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No.
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
Of
Oh, goodness.
course.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You
Terse.
can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my
Damn.
otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people
Aw.
down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
No, it was great. It was so good. Here we go.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening.
Oh,
I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm
I
truly
can
too
skip the
preachy,
narrator?
Then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Oh.
That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
okay. Is this... We're just... okay. A skip button?
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for. Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flurry. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But
No.
that's the power of the button. The
I
minute
wonder
I
if
start to
you
go off on a
can
thoughtless
just
display
not
of self-absorption, it's right
it.
at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether
Yeah.
they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at
Hell
least
yeah.
change some of the wording, perhaps. to be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place.
Can you?
I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works.
Yeah.
Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review. Merely because
possible?
of this very situation.
Did they do that?
I think that's quite likely. Or
Indeed.
perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review.
Yeah.
So that the feature is not widely abused.
Well,
Look, I would even be
I still
okay
think it's
with
a good
Steam
idea.
altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game.
yeah.
Let me start over.
Shut up.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Oh.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Yeah.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that.
I mean, you
see
could
a
punch
window
through the
anywhere?
wall.
A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Jesus
You've
Christ.
just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's
I
no
wonder
way
if
out of the
there's
room.
actually
Stanley, the
something
door
if you
is
like
gone. It's
don't hit the
completely
skip
gone.
button.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
Oh.
My goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
Oh
just
no.
sitting
Wait,
here,
I kind of want
not
to
a
look it
single
up.
person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking
Yeah.
and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving.
There is an ending, but I don't want to
Hello,
sit through
it's
it.
you. You're here again. Welcome.
I don't want to sit
I
through it.
have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
How much
I stopped
time?
keeping track after a year. Have you
Oh.
ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let
Nope.
me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley.
Let me out.
Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside,
Yep.
what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them
Yikes.
collapsed down into a single instant.
That's
In that
rough. Narrator? Narrator? Uh-oh. This is what Tom wishes he could do. Every time I start stream, just press the skip button. Oh. Maybe there's... Oh.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It
Whoa.
was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to
Maybe
the
there
human
isn't an
condition.
ending.
But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to
There
leave a
isn't an
pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen.
You said it, narrator. Oh. He's gone again. He's gone again. Narrator, come back.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end,
narrator.
is never the end, 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 is never the end.
I liked it better when you were quiet. Oh. There's a leak. Okay. I wonder how many years it's been. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. That's not good. Oh! Light! We're gonna get out of here, Stanley. I don't know where the narrator went, and... Okay, maybe we're not gonna get out of here. Oh, it's kind of lovely. Look at the little bear. They are 2D. This is nice. Well, okay. Yeah, I spoke too soon. Is there a sun anymore? You're going back in time to World War II. What? I don't like the sounds. Oh, we are sideways. Does the button not work anymore? Oh no. Oh no. It is my destiny to travel into this desert. I will become the Lisan al-Gaib. What is happening? It's kind of cool. Kind of exciting. Stanley, look what happened. How did we get here? Oh. It's like it never even happened. Well, okay. Sure.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Narrator, it's good to have you back, my guy. I'm glad we already did the input thing. I'm glad you weren't, to affect... Whoa! New content?
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Man, I shouldn't have gone through the vent first. Maybe I won't go through the vent? I guess we'll see what happens.
You see, Stanley, I've
new
been reflecting on the
content.
Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
So
the original
disappointing.
Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
The end is never the end. Again. 427.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Yep. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Look at this. They have bird products. That's the song once again. What does it say? Who is that? I don't know. There's probably so many secrets and stuff. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Okay, slay. 2 doors is 1 + 1 is 2 - 1. I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know what that says. Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2. Holy shit. Paradigm shift synergy brick and mortar approach. The color red. I can't. Wow. Oh, it's the fern. Yes. Fantastic. Incroyable. Okay. Narrator.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar. What were you saying? Narrator, I don't pay attention to you. This way to the show floor. Oh my goodness, look at this. We're gonna have a discussion. Why is there a bus? This is awesome. I'm loving the Stanley Parable 2. Holy!
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Whoa. Merch. This t-shirt is the best new feature. Wow. The Stanley Parable 2 Reassurance Bucket. Need that right now. Is this gonna close on me? Because there's a lot going on here.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in
Just pick
those
it
who
up.
played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of
there's no
calm
bucket.
and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
Oh.
As long as you hold onto the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes,
Such
the
a pain.
bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Oh my god.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must
Yeah, I
already
can
be
feel it.
sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh.
The benefits of
Narrator,
the bucket seem to go on
you
and on,
flatter
don't they?
me.
All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Can I take my bucket? Huh. I have a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really
Stanley
should
Parable
be an
2.
award if it isn't already.
Wow. What is this? I don't even know. There's so many things. Alright, Stanley Parable 2 exclusive, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. You hear your name in the game? For real? What is that? I don't know. I don't want to know.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my
Too
first
small,
addition
too
to the game
big,
is this button
just right.
which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Oh,
Isn't
I
that
believe it.
Wonderful.
Oh, I'm sure it does. What's it gonna say? Is it gonna say, like, Jim? Is it gonna say Stanley? Is it gonna say Error?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the
How did I
final
know it
game,
was gonna
this
say
button
Jim?
will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full
I know a
experience
couple
of
Jims.
this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine
I'm
yourself
Jim.
living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being
Already did it.
heartbroken as Jim,
Can
seizing
do.
all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Oh.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Yeah.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Wow.
Yes!
You know what?
see?
It did make
What a
me
thrill,
feel
What a
good.
rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the
Yep,
Stanley Parable
yep.
2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Okay. Do these doors open up? That hit. I am Jim. I don't know
suppose
where
I could
that
allow
door
only people
looks.
named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Epilogue. Investor showcase. Please no screenshots. A whole new office. Red is the new orange. New updated ray traced more of the same but in a good way. Sequel to the new features, new content, new ideas. Wow. Hello? what's going on there. What did this say? Baby's all grown up. Wow. Okay, I'm going here.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on
Yes.
Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday. Oh! Step-niece. Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
It's gonna say get well.
Get Well Someday it is.
How
Or
fucking
actually,
dare you, narrator?
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
I didn't...
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
I didn't know. Collectibles. Sure. Ooh. Free achievement? Where? That way? You are here. Facing this wall. Free achievement. Oh, there's a giant sign. I can't believe it's that simple. Wow. Okay, yeah. Free achievement. Get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps, it just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it,
No
the
way.
achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Oh. No way.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
You know, maybe you're hearing me, but you're not seeing me. And that hurts. That hurts. Fuck you. Alright. Fine.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Collectibles. Wow. Can you find them? Collect them all. Whoa.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2,
Whoa.
you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
This is incredible. No way! Oh. Cool.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Tragic. What is that? Exit. Jumps. I haven't been to the infinite hole. Have I seen everything? Collectible epilogue. I haven't seen the epilogue. Got the bucket. Settings world champion. Where is that? Where's the settings world champion? This? No. I'm gonna go up here. What's this? Settings world champion. Perfect. Okay. That's new. Is this the epilogue thing?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay. Settings world champion. I want to know. How do you even, what does that even mean? What does that even entail? Narrator. Oh. He really knows how to push my buttons. He really does. Okay, what have we not seen? Infinite hole. Jump circle. This map. Free achievement. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Merch. Settings world champion. Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. Office decorations. Epilogue collectibles. Infinite hole, I guess. It won't end. Can't wait. Seems like a good thing to end on. Narrator? What do you think? Oh no. Oh, I don't... Interesting. Science. More. Falling. I agree.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Ooh. Do I just hop in?
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more
Narrator?
ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
How am I gonna get
Now
out?
then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
G to return to the surface.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer,
I'll wait.
but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No, and in fact, I'm gonna look it up. What happens if I keep falling in the infinite hole? I bet it's not even infinite.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's
Stanley
possible that I slightly
Parable.
exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain,
I
it is.
knew it.
It's an
I
extremely deep
knew it.
hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective,
Whoa, I
the
hated
infinite
the way
is
that that
merely
looked.
philosophical in nature. It's more
What
of
is
a-
happening? Oh,
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley.
It's not
I'm a liar and a
infinite.
cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was
Me.
as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
I'm the problem.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I think
Why
you
don't we
said
just
some
put all
things,
this
and you
behind
meant
us and
them.
agree to just call the whole mostly infinite.
That's
If that
not
works
what
for you,
infinite
Then
means.
go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole, and we can move on.
No.
I'll just be up here when you're ready.
You were mean to me. What does it say? Oh. There's some things we could do with this hole.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
But what if, and hear me out.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
Ooh, narrator,
A
please.
normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Okay.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
Yeah, I've had
I
enough.
really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Yeah.
I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here?
You're dumb.
Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Okay.
Well, there it is.
Oh.
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch.
I'm in the hole.
Who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
But...
Is the, teleport button not working?
Nope.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything
You get to
else.
be with the hole.
Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Thank you. Ooh. Just the two of us. Narrator. What's going on? Narrator? Uh-oh. Okay. Stanley, you're looking great. Well, this is nice. Perception. What?
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine.
Ooh. What's happening? I like that one. Yo! Oh! Puppies! I'm a robot. I'm upside down. For real.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley!
What?
Oh, good, you're
Oh.
awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there.
Narrator,
away
I
into
wasn't
sleep.
done.
But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole.
Narrator,
And I'm
let me
looking forward
out.
to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Toodle pip. Am I gonna get to... Am I gonna... Hell yeah. Hold on. Let's go back. We're going back. Narrator? What the
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
but I... Oh. I already have a bucket. Will I be able to get another bucket? Can I get another bucket? Great. No. Awesome. I'm so happy. I wanted to be a part of... You heard Jim in the game. Wow. I wonder where all the collectibles are. Why is this one... Oh. Epilogue. Well, I guess the only thing we haven't checked out is the exit. So. Fine. Be that way. See, but that is blocked off. That can't be correct. What did this say? Well, that's also not right. Can I not leave? Aha. Oh, wow.
All
Very
right.
cool.
Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yep. Whoa. Wait, that's actually cool. Stanley. Do I get to keep my bucket?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come
This
together
seat
as one single
sucks.
coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere.
Yes.
So, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay. For me?
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
How did you... You made it worse.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a
Get
lot
well
of
someday.
gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
Yeah.
I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Hell
Let me
yeah.
see if I can whip something up.
You got this, narrator.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Hell yeah. Whoa. Narrator? You've truly outdone yourself. It's great.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, I wonder if the beginning is gonna be...
Stanley worked for a company in
Yeah.
a big building
It is
where
different.
he was
They have the
employee
balloons.
number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day.
I wonder how
every
the
month
rest of the
every
cutscene's gonna
year.
go.
And although others might
just
have
gonna have the
considered it
balloons?
soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Yes, sir.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him
Get
instructions.
well someday.
Or a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very
Wonder if I can
clearly
pop the
wrong.
balloons.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Narrator?
All of his co-workers were gone.
This is
What could it mean?
great.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I can't pop them.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Shut up.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes, sir. I got the bucket. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Should I listen to him? I'm gonna listen to him. I'm gonna listen to him.
Still no one was here. Stanley
This is why I
needed the
asked
bucket's
if it was
warmth
gonna
and
say
comfort
Jim.
now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as
But
clear
it's
as
my
day.
bucket.
This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
But it's
I
mine.
can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here.
No.
It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You
Well,
can't hand it over.
now that you told me.
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons. But even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That
What
your
the
relationship
fuck,
is purely
dog?
superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel
I
the
will
same
fuck
sort
up
of
this broom
kinship towards
closet.
any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom
Fuck
closet
you,
off for its
broom
demeaning
closet.
comments. Expand on the
You're
wide
nothing
variety
but
of
a
experiences
dirty
you
hunk
and the
of
bucket
junk.
have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
I love this bucket with my whole heart, its curves, its round edges, but for most importantly, its
I've got you
personality.
something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Oh!
There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your
Yeah,
meandering
fuck you,
philosophical
broom
diatribes
closet.
about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the
Loser.
natural order of things.
Loser who loses a lot, it says property of Stanley. Bitch. Get lost.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
What?
You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
This
That way,
is
if you're ever unsure
incredible.
whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Stanley in the bucket. You got it, dude. Can I pee? Oh!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember,
Yippee.
no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
I believe
you can't
you.
buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Can I pee in the bucket? Can the bucket pee in me? I didn't say anything. Yellow.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Nope.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
I love my
Even
bucket.
now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. the bucket
Hell
would,
yeah.
and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed
I
in the
love
tender
my bucket.
spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
2845. I fucked up.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs, trying
Shut
to
up.
but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes.
This is certainly
The bucket
most
and I are
logical
going to our happy
explanation.
ending. Oh!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs.
Wait,
Or what
I
about
don't like that one.
Stanlerines?
I
Yes,
love that
I think
one.
I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Hell yeah. Sick. Alright, let's go. Let's go, Bucket. We're gonna have our happy ending. So if I didn't go in the broom closet, would I not have gotten the sticker?
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Yeah.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is
love
here
my
for you,
bucket.
Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you, Bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Yep. We sure did.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
Whoa.
screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Yippee. Let's go, Bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
I don't think there's
Everyone
any
in the
more
office was being videotaped, monitored
Easter
like guinea
eggs.
pigs. The bucket had never seen
I never looked
anything
up
like
what
this,
the Clippy
and it very
said up
nearly
there.
burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently,
What is that?
reassuring it that everything would be fine.
What is that? Wait, take it back. Go back. I can't. Wait, there's more. There's red ones everywhere. You see? Red and red.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first
Bucket, we're
place?
getting out of here.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Bucket, we're getting out of here.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world.
Aw.
At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Damn.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality
see
of
any
his past began to
Stanlerines?
sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls
Hell
for good.
yes.
Two best friends,
Oh my God, I gotta
Stanley and the
sneeze.
bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Hell yeah.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Surely.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the
Yay.
tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
Period.
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What?
Bucket?
Wait, what was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
I could jump that.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty.
I could toss
Until
the
finally
bucket.
the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket. Needed
Throw
the
the bucket
soothing
out.
warmth of the bucket. Would go to any lengths not
No.
to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms.
But-
Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself.
No.
As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
My bucket. But... oh...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
My bucket. Figurine Finders Committee in the meeting room. Should I go to the meeting room? I feel like I don't remember seeing that. I'm not gonna grab the bucket. I won't. I'm going to the
When
meeting
Stanley
room.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Whoa. Warehouse access plan. Produce 1 plank to allow ease of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from the warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. Mission status. Oh! Places to search. Lol looks like 427. Gotta collect them all. Is this some kind of game? There must be a point. Somewhere with both red and blue. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. A large room. Lots of boxes? Okay. Okay. There will be a reward for finding them all. Trust the completionist instinct. Weird spinning figurines. Employee 421 building a bridge. Can we sell them? Obviously. Why floating? Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless. Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. To whom it may concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to a regular office ambiance or local audio sources using an array of cardioid microphones, also known as directional mic, a microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noise. Data shows that in all likelihood, it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looks to be a reverberance off a porcelain surface. Anyone have any leads to this? Wouldn't you like to know? Whoa. Incredible. Please do not leave the office before reporting back to any new findings. Okay, so large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs, somewhere both red and blue. I got it.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Aha!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think,
Figlies.
Stanley? What name better
Stanlerines.
encapsulates the intrinsic
Figlies
sense
is
of happiness
stupid.
that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
It does say 4 out of 6 behind my camera, by the way. Still don't know what that says. That's the ending where I walk around in circles until I die, right? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. There's a hair stuck to my lip. Can I go here? Narrator, are you ever going to say anything about this elevator? It does nothing. There's just a very bright... I don't know what to do about this elevator. I'm gonna look it up. Stanley Parable elevator. Elevator room. It does nothing. It does nothing. Let me out of here. It is so hot in this room. Jesus Christ. It is 74 degrees in here. That's too warm. I'm too warm. Man, I wish I had the bucket. We'd go the escape route. Okay. Begin the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Give me the
What did
bucket.
it
I'm
mean?
going the escape route.
Stanley
I don't
decided to
care.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Yoink.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Hell yeah. This is my bucket. Mine. We're going the escape route.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Look, it's crossed off now. So these two are the other room. If you don't go this way. If you go right instead of left.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yep. Nothing in here, right? Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office,
No,
Stanley was
you're
once
not gonna
again
get the chance to
stunned
talk.
to discover not an indication of any human life.
Shit, what is it?
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Yep.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes.
Yep.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
We're gonna go the escape route and I want to see what happens. Does my bucket get squished? Will the bucket sacrifice itself for me? Probably not.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
No. Surely not, right?
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to
The
turn
bucket
around
is telling me
and
to
get
keep
back
going.
on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
That's fine. Whee! Bucket, we will survive this together. Bucket, do you have a plan?
Word into motion, and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their
Bucket, you have to have a plan.
Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out
Oh,
to be.
Bucket,
To be
you don't have a
sure, It puts the
plan.
mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
Great.
Farewell, Stanley.
Is the other narrator going to save me?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the
Yes!
enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Bucket?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Oh my god. Wait. My... What? My bucket! You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learned here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind that may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? Bucket?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the
Bucket?
hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
No. Bucket. I love you. What is that in the ceiling? 25 buckets. Photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. Now listen, I'm not really good with math. I don't know how to do math. But something tells me there's more than 25 buckets in this picture. It's just a feeling I've got. How do I get over there? Something's back there for sure. A bucket with two handles. This bucket's depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Bucket. What the fuck? Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains. No one can control a bucket. The stress bucket, an analogy. Oh. Wow. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Wow. Incredible. Bucket!
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
What's over there? The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. Bucket? Oh. Bucket, I've done nothing but love you. I'm assuming I have to jump into this hole. Farewell, Bucket. Oh. What? There's... What? Huh? Bucket!
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Huh. Guys, do we think my bucket's still gonna be there? Do we think?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Bucket?
The
Bucket!
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
He is my bucket, and I love my bucket. Okay, I'm gonna go explode now. I wanna see what happens if I explode.
Clutched the bucket tightly
I wanna
to
see
his
what happens
chest.
if I go
this
this
was
way.
not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I'm gonna explode myself, though.
And
I'll go
here
back.
it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
So is everything that's different just the bucket?
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Alright. We get it. I'll do the figurines next. Fuck
Stanley,
you, broom
we
closet.
must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Fine. Fine, whatever you say.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay.
Stepping into his manager's
You
office,
should just
Stanley
open
was
it.
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. crushed by the weight, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yep.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical
We're
explanation.
gonna blow up with the bucket. Bucket's telling me that I need to turn the mind controls on. And then maybe we'll go downstairs and walk around until we die with the bucket. And then we can do the figurines by going the right path.
Stanley and the
instead
bucket
of-
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
We'll do the figurines. We gotta do the confusion ending, which is...
The lights rose
rough.
on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully,
I
he
forgot.
fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Thank goodness.
Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit.
Well,
and
we'll
so
see what
eventually
happens.
They
Is the
decided
music
that
gonna
the
play
best
again?
thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here. A bit cold, perhaps.
Wait, this is nice.
After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was
Bucket?
useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to
Oh
feel
my
like a home.
goodness,
In fact,
Bucket!
after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to
Wow.
fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of
great.
closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path.
Stanley.
It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending.
Well,
This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually.
eventually.
It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Oh, brother. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm gonna keep dog mode on.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the
I think it
bucket
just
in his
looks
arms
different.
again,
I don't
he
think
was
it like
home.
does anything different.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, let's do the ending that we were gonna do. And then we still have one after that, and then we still have the Stanlerines. There's just way too much to this game.
Stanley, we must move on from this
Okay,
broom
so it's the
closet,
same thing.
simply because I have no remaining. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's
2845.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it
Open
the
it.
bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes.
Don't
this
let
is
the
certainly
bucket
most
take all the
logical
credit.
Explanation.
I'm just as much a part of this team as the bucket. Okay? Don't be rude. We're gonna blow ourselves up. And it's gonna take like 5 minutes to explode, but it's just
Stanley
what
and
we're
the
gonna
bucket
have to
walked
do.
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yoink.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both
Bucket
wondered
wants
to
me
themselves.
to turn the controls on. Yoink.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this,
Is that the
and
red
it
and
very
blue door?
nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It's gonna be okay, Bucket. Don't worry, Bucket. We're gonna get through this together, my guy.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Apparently roller
These
skate
questions
and
raced
watch a
furiously
movie
in Stanley's feeble mind.
in the
No!
wrong order.
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never!
Never.
He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point,
Yep.
he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley
Bucket.
gasped in horror.
How could
Had
you?
this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power
Oh
for
no.
itself?
Bucket, what
How
the
could
fuck?
the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Wha-
Birds. Silly, silly birds. The
Bucket?
control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all
What?
over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its
What is
true
happening?
intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled
Look
at the
at
metal
them.
genius in his hands.
What
the one
is
who had
that?
pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
I don't like it.
Stanley and the bucket never
Yeah.
found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable.
Aw,
Of
babies.
all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely
Oh,
the best.
dog mode is still
And
active.
Stanley was happy.
I am happy. Look at the out. What the f- Hello? I just said that I was happy, and you took that away from me? So... Is my door gonna close?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meet. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd
All
never
right,
be-
fine, I'm going
Stanley
down the
clutched
stairs.
bucket
I don't
tightly to
care.
his chest and entered the door on his left.
Bye, see ya. See ya, bye. I'll get them, don't worry.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
No.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had
All right,
left
now I'm
his
gonna
post during
walk
work
in
hours.
circles
He might
until
be
I
fired for that.
die.
And
Well,
in such a competitive economy,
to be fair, I thought I
why
was
had
gonna
he
die
taken
last
that
time,
risk?
and I
All
had the
because he
happiest
believed
ending
everyone
ever.
had vanished.
So,
His boss would think he was crazy.
Never
And then
mind.
something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Because it's a bucket.
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience
My bucket
without
is
the
gone.
psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Uh-oh.
Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's
Bucket!
me, the bucket. Could it
Oh my
truly be?
god.
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
No!
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
Bucket!
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly,
Oh god.
froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Oh god.
It was incredibly painful.
Oh.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Uh-oh. What do you mean inside of me?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Uh-oh. Mariella, what
woke
did
up on a
you
day like
find?
any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting
Unbelievable.
and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
I did take my
Perhaps
bucket.
he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own
Damn.
bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this.
Nope.
There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work. For which her
Mariella,
bucket
you're not very
would provide
helpful, are you?
absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself. My life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Hell yeah. Period. Ugh. Alright, I just wanna... This is just gonna be buttons, right? Welcome to heaven. Buttons. 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 They just light up again. Alright. What is with this place?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. Bucket.
The good old
Let's
bucket.
go.
Just Stanley and the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door. This was not the
No.
correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Oh, we're gonna stand around for a little bit longer, too. I like
And here it
rushed through this
was.
room.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was
It's
this
a
better than the
beautiful
meeting
room.
Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Ah, this is nice, Bucket. It's a lovely room, truly. I really do appreciate it. I wish there was a snacks vending machine rather than just
Truly,
a drinks
being
vending
here
machine,
with the bucket
but
was a grand adventure.
what
Stanley
are you gonna
reflected
do?
on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Alright, I'm over it.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
That's
the
crazy.
cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Where's the Stanlerine? Oh my god. Oh. Yo.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the
Yippee.
Figler Anlarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then
Figler
the first number will
Anlarines?
equal the second number,
What?
and that will be it. We'll
The
be different
first will
people by
equal the
then.
second number,
Different
and
in
that
the
will be
sense that we
it.
used to have none of them, and now we have them all.
Yippee!
You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anlarines. None of us can.
I'm able to get back? Bucket? Where am I? Bucket? Tapes. Jane is gone. Jane is lost. That's Jane and him. What? The narrator was a lie?
Okay, this is day number 295.
Oh.
Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
What's going on?
The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I said it
I wonder
out
if this is different if I don't have the bucket.
doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so...
This is so weird.
What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
Oh god.
This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that?
Uh-oh.
Who's there?
I didn't know. I didn't know this was a horror game. There's a phone ringing.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
What? Okay. I kind of want to not have the bucket and see if... I bet it's just closed and you just fall. Right? Surely.
Where are we
Whatever,
going
let's go.
today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to
I'm getting
be.
a little freaked out by the bucket now.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
Is my nose gonna start
Stanley
bleeding?
thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the
How can I
bucket
get back
turned
up?
out to be.
There we go. Alright, let's just wait, I guess. See if the bucket is... Oh, I don't know.
Truly, being here with the
Right?
bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge.
There's gotta
What
be
a
something
thrilling
else to
journey
this,
the
right?
bucket
There's
had
gotta be.
inspired.
Almost certainly.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Be my Valentine. Well, no, the broom closet.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge.
Yep.
Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Alright, I'm over it. No, I'm not over it. There's gotta be more dialogue, right? Bucket? I'm gonna leave, Bucket. Okay.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
No, we're gonna get
Stanley
off,
did not
Bucket.
question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Actually,
but
maybe I
Stanley
should
chose
listen to
not to
Bucket.
think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him.
No, I'm gonna get
and
off,
he
Bucket.
unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No, I didn't. I didn't, actually.
No, stop.
Bucket?
Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would
my
explain
God.
a lot about your behavior up to this point.
Oh,
Which,
no.
if that's true, well, my goodness.
Wha-
I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
I know what a
So
bucket
much
is.
of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and
I
isn't
know what a bucket is.
Please, step in here for a moment.
Oh. A game show?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios And you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
A bucket?
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Okay.
Okay, let's begin.
I know. I'm gonna answer correctly.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
What?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
What? Okay.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Yo! I'm incredible!
Item 4.
Oh!
Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you.
That's
Thank you for
crazy.
not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
All right, narrator, what are we doing here?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Narrator?
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something.
Blah,
and
blah,
therefore
blah, blah, blah.
nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost
Me
all
too.
sense of perspective.
I
What
don't
is
know
a
what's
bucket?
going
What
on
isn't
anymore.
a bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yeah,
Stanley,
probably.
I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with.
You're a bucket.
I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry.
Oh.
But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no,
Here we
no,
go.
no, 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 you can't do that. You can't do that. But there's
What
so
happened?
much I
Is
need to
everything
do.
gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
Everything.
was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea.
Holy
How could-
shit.
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you,
Nice.
Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
Yay.
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's
Me too.
delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Perfect.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows
Yeah.
what that information might do to a person. All right, here we go.
Well, now okay, so I can't take my bucket. I need to just go get the last Stanley. There's still a phone call.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Yep.
Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Why can't I get on this desk? Oh, oh, oh!
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
I can't move very far.
Now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
No, it's just very bright.
Take a minute just to drink it all in.
It's very bright.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Goody. Wait, this is nice.
There once was a man named Stanley.
Who
people considered so manly.
So
But the
manly.
truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly.
What's that supposed
What
to mean?
Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed
true.
them like some kind of glutton.
Can't help myself.
Did it all day in a meaningful way. But his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Narrator, you've got a beautiful
You
voice.
too will become quite unbearable.
Very good, narrator. This is lovely. What a nice song. I'm enjoying it. Surely there's more. Okay. Anyway. Oh! The boxes I ordered came in. Oh, thank goodness. I'm really glad that I can't, get over there. Right. Okay. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of boxes. No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's okay. Yikes. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
I think the
employee lounge
boxes are
first,
gone.
just to admire
Yeah.
it.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the last Stanley. I'm gonna go get the
Standing now in
Stanley.
this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the
I
first
did not
open door on his left.
not understand happiness. Let's go get the Stanley.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize
also
that
want to see what
investing
happens
your
if I
trust
go
in
there
someone else can be difficult.
without
but
the
the fact
bucket.
is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? What?
Yeah.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly
Savor
Wiggly.
this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment.
Yay.
This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
I did
Where
it.
so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial
Stanley only
achievements,
has 4
you've
fingers.
insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all.
I'm proud
but
of
that would
me.
be like a reward, and we can't have that.
I don't
So,
need you to
instead
tell
I'll just
me.
say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Yippee! I wonder if there are any hidden ones. I mean, there's gotta be, right?
Aha! Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
I still
There's
don't
something
think
I
we're
wanna try.
communicating properly. Stanley, all right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You
Okay.
see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Rude.
Broken rooms, exposed
How do I get to
developer textures.
Minecraft
Is
and,
this
and
what you
Portal?
wanted? Was it worth
I missed
ruining
so
the
much.
entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this
Oh
is
my
what you
god,
wanted to
this is
see.
why I want
Help
that
me
skip
here,
button
Stanley. Help
narrator.
elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
I don't want
Tell you
none
what.
of that.
Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option.
No
this
thanks.
already feels leaps ahead of
I
where
don't
we were
want it.
before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with
This is
new
my
version. Would
technically-
you say that the game benefited from allowing
I mean,
you
it's
more
my first
choices?
playthrough,
Feel
but this is
free
the
to be
second
honest.
time,
I'm looking
if
for
that
some
makes
real
sense.
critical feedback here.
We started playing it on Tuesday, and we're doing more today. It is getting so incredibly hot in here. I'm starting to lose my mind. Hold on, let me just open the door. It is boiling. I mean, I'm gonna start sweating. Ugh. What's the temperature outside? Inside, it's 76 degrees in here. Yeah, it's 76 degrees outside. That's interesting. That's fun. All right. The experience was neutral.
Oh, of course. A 3.
Don't die from
Really?
heat stroke.
Maybe next
Could you
time we can get you to
imagine
form an actual
getting
opinion,
heat stroke
you
in
know?
your own apartment?
Any level of critical
Jeez
thinking or
Louise.
engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new...
Okay, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this again. Are the cardboard boxes gone? Yes. You were not very helpful. Where did the balloons go? What is...
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Yes.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more
Yeah,
than
of
to revisit
course.
the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay. Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. It's beautiful. I love this place. It's wonderful. Alright, we're going in. Wow. Oh. Good times. Zone, sweet zone. Oh, the awards are gone.
Here's where it all began.
Yep.
The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
Yeah.
We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
What is this? Oh. It says 7 out of 6 now. Oh, brother. Great.
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom.
Yep.
You did that, Stanley.
I
I'll
did.
be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Thank you. 8 out of 6.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand?
It
Can
was
you
the
remember?
boss's office.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm
Yes,
glad
I
these
did.
moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Is that true? 9 out of 6.
Let's see, what came next?
Oh, well,
Oh
this...
yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
No. 10 out of 6. I love the room.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Video? Shut up. Oh my god, this is incredible. What's that back there? Ah. It's mini stand number 5. This is the best game ever. Thanks for watching. Hell yeah. Best boy, the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
11 out of 6. So I wonder what happens if you go down without the bucket. Oh.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I
Quit
thought to
calling
myself,
them, calling them
yes,
Figlies.
that's
I
all of
don't
them.
like
They're
that
all
name.
collected. It was a moment unlike any other.
Yep.
Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was.
Obviously,
exactly
of course. Duh. 12 out of 6. Well, we're missing one, are we not? We picked up a... We picked up an extra one. The start, the bathroom, the boss's office, the stairs. Oh, because we didn't go back to the stairs. I know, but we didn't go back to the stairs. He never showed me the one with the stairs. We went to the pink room and not the stairs.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward.
Because the pink one was an. It's the fern. Oh. Something.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Yes. So smart.
Okay, yes.
Are there
the
more?
room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
Got it.
I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Okay, we're gonna see if we can go back to the stairs.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I do. Narrator, please.
Yes, I love that video.
Okay. And then the pink room. Is he gonna be like, this is the room that doesn't make sense?
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Solid room.
These really got a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
I'm gonna go to the stairs. I can't. Great. Okay. Then we're in the bathroom.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Whoa. Thank you for the sign. Whoa. Can I collect that Stanlerine? The jump circle. But I'm all out of jumps.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
I want more
Look
jumps.
how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
More memories.
Oh, yes. The two doors. Who could have forgotten that?
What
A
is
classic
happening?
memory, this one.
And then my office.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
I don't think so.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Oh.
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with, well, Came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again.
Am I gonna be
I
the
want to
narrator?
go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can
Narrator,
do it.
are you gonna...
I'll be stronger this time.
What?
I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with.
Narrator, you
You
can't
know what?
leave.
Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much.
Narrator, you can't just
Okay.
leave.
Here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
One last time. Narrator, you're gonna realize that you miss me.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Certainly, this isn't it. There's no more meeting. Well, if it's the last time, then I want to do it correctly. Without the bucket. All on my own, for the narrator's sake.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Narrator? Are you gonna... I'm so scared.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
We found all
Feeling
the
a wave of
figurines.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room.
Narrator, I just want to spend more
Please
time
take
with
your
you.
time.
Rude.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Narrator. Interesting.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could
Narrator,
not
is
have
this-
known was
what's
that the
going
keypad
on?
behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
2845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
Yep.
Stanley happened to input the correct code
By sheer luck.
Amazing. He stepped into
Narrator.
the newly opened passageway.
I'm gonna miss you, but I have so much left to do with the bucket. I didn't get to go into the vent without the bucket. I didn't get to... What? We didn't get to the end of the cargo hold. What about the confusion ending, narrator?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
We had at least 4 more endings we had to accomplish. What are we doing here?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No, I don't.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley,
No, I
one of
haven't,
them,
but that's a good one, and I should
eternally
write that
monitored
one
in
down.
this place where freedom meant nothing.
I do know of that game. I should play it. I'm writing it
This
down.
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It
I have a
couldn't be
list of
true.
games.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Is the narrator the one who was controlling me all this time? I'm confused.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't
Refused.
accept it. His own
I
life
won't.
in someone else's control?
It can't
Never.
be.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it even possible?
No.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Narrator.
But here was the proof. The heart
he
of the
gonna leave?
operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Once and for all. Goodbye, narrator.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly
Narrator,
opened,
this can't be
Stanley
our last
reflected on
hurrah.
how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers
I have at
gone?
least 4.
How had he been
If
freed
not a
from the
hell of a
machine's
lot more.
grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he
It's
had been seeking,
beautiful.
but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he
love
lives, it will be his. And that
Narrator.
was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
But narrator, is this really the end?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the
can't
feeling
be.
of liberation,
He'll be back.
the immense possibility of the
He'll
new
be
path
back.
before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, I do like the good ending. Narrator, you better be here. If I just did all of that for you, you better be here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yippee!
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right, I'm going into that vent without the bucket, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens, and then we're gonna have the bucket, and we're gonna do the
When
2
Stanley
cargo
came to a
things,
set of
and
2
it'll be
open
great.
doors. This was not the
And then
correct
we'll
way
do
to
the
meeting
confusion
room,
ending.
and
Oh,
Stanley knew it
brother.
perfectly well. Perhaps he
The
wanted to
end
stop
is
by
never
the
the end.
employee
Ah,
lounge
you're
first,
so right.
just to admire it. Stanley
Ugly-ass
felt
lounge.
lightheaded, butterflies
Disgusting.
in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room?
Nah.
But eager to get back to business,
No, it's
Stanley
not.
took the first open door on his left.
Bye.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What's in here? Oh, it's the same? What is that? What?
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed
it's
the
not
office
the
had begun.
bucket.
So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you?
Oh.
What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
Blah, blah, blah.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
I've become sad. Oh. Oh, what? Narrator, this is a mess.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Narrator, look at this mess.
A good bucket. A strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Yes. Let's go.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It's not, bucket.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No.
No.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Bucket
Stanley
was wrong.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
We're going,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something
I mean,
up there
it's obviously
going to
be different endings
Stanley did not question why or how this
than
bucket
the
was
not
speaking to him.
bucket.
It should have alarmed him.
I can't believe this bucket
bucket
is what makes
but Stanley
the
chose
different
not to
endings.
think about this
Like,
obvious
what's going
fact.
on?
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Yep.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
I'm going. Ooh. Bucket, what's it gonna be? Whoa.
Now pick up the phone,
said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
I'm listening to the bucket.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh. Bucket? Well, this is a nice place. Bucket? Oh! Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press I to make me work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was
Take me
merely
to
meant
work.
to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
But bucket? Take me back home.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object.
Where's my bucket?
I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Back to work, bucket.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk.
No.
All it would ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
It's
That's
my
it.
bucket.
It doesn't do anything else.
Doesn't have to be liquid. Don't listen to the loud man. Press X for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket.
Look at
this stupid hunk of metal.
Press O to ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You want a bucket, don't you, narrator? You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press Y to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Yeah. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press Z to relive this same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press K to go home, to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps, if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Bucket.
Stanley, give me the bucket.
No!
Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
Bucket back shop. Go back to work, Stanley. Whoa. Bucket?
Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Yes, sir.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
We're gonna go unplug the phone.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
We're gonna go unplug the phone
calling to him,
and see what
telling
happens.
Him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I'm really basic. I love just tacos, any kind of tacos, but also I love tamales. Love tamales. Other than that, I feel like I eat a lot of Mexican food in the sense that I eat a lot of tacos and tamales. That's about it. Taco Bell? Taco Bell isn't Mexican food. Taco Bell is its own thing. That's why I get mad when people are like, you know, it's not real Mexican food, right? It's like, yeah, that's the point. I don't go to Taco Bell because I want Mexican food. I go to Taco Bell because I want Taco Bell, you dummy.
No,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the car. Good.
What happens if I jump
now
with the
ride
bucket?
the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest
Taco
friend.
Bell Stardew Valley
So he
clip.
throw himself to his death, that they
I
might
love
die
Taco
in
Bell.
one another's
I really
arms.
do.
How
I guess
deeply touching.
if you want to say Taco Bell is Mexican food, then yeah, Taco Bell is my favorite Mexican food. I will eat I will eat Taco Bell every day, honestly, if I could.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This
Whoa.
is great, he thought to himself.
That's new
This is
dialogue.
what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Give me my
The
bucket.
bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those
Yes, sir.
things.
Baja Blast and 3 5-layer beefy burritos be hitting. Baja Blast, cheesy gordita crunch, and those cheesy fiesta potatoes. That's all I need. A Doritos Locos Taco if I'm feeling a little extra hunger. If I need a little extra more food. If I need a feast, a Mexican pizza. Baja Blast is the best drink ever created. I don't like Mountain Dew. I don't like any of the flavors of Mountain Dew except for Baja Blast. And you know what? I don't even like Baja Blast when they sell it in like the cans and the bottles for like a limited time. Only Baja Blast from Taco Bell is the best drink. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get a Coke. But anyways,
Stanley
I'm
clutched
so
the bucket
passionate
tightly
about
to his
Taco
chest
Bell. I could talk
and
about this
entered
forever.
the door on his left.
No thanks.
This was not the correct way
Right?
to the meeting room.
It's just so
but
good.
Stanley
It's
had
like a
felt the
Sprite
bucket
from
calling to him,
McDonald's.
telling him that the
Yeah,
employee lounge was simply the
exactly.
place to be.
Great minds.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
We're gonna go unplug
Stanley
the
took
phone,
the door on
see
his
what
left
happens.
to go back to the meeting room.
And then we're gonna do the confusion
No.
ending
Said the bucket.
with the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Blah blah
Stanley
blah.
did not
bucket.
question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Anywho, Taco Bell is the best. I've said this before, but now that we're talking about Taco Bell again, I have full on cut off potential friendships because they said ew when I said I loved Taco Bell. I full on stopped talking to a person. In fact, I went so far as to say I started disliking that person because they were like, Taco Bell's gross. Don't speak to me.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Don't
Stanley
speak to
once
me.
again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone,
said the bucket.
Pick
No.
up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone?
Because I don't
Were
want
you
it.
trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking
I don't think
bucket.
it's funny to manipulate
Can't you
me,
see?
narrator.
Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have
It wasn't a
paused
joke.
for longer?
It was
or spoken quicker?
rude.
Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on
I
comedy
agree, I
that one
agree.
can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's
You
take
get
a
a
look.
oh, another video?
What is comedic timing? What is
Hell yeah.
comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
Yeah.
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These
Yep.
are the optimal conditions for
Of
good
course.
comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke
including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
Oh, I hate the way he looks.
"I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all.
I'm scared.
Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them.
The children yearn for the battlefield.
Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then.
I loved
so with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery.
Okay.
Come on, let's head back.
Yep, let's go back. I liked the Crunchwrap. Maybe you just got a bad one. That one's gone now anyways. Yeah, probably then. Taco Bell's good, but their quality is, you know,
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery.
I believe in you, narrator.
A talking
Thanks for
bucket,
stopping
you'll
in,
say.
Vi.
How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept.
By the way,
king of
I didn't
comedy.
even finish that
That's
sentence.
what you'll call me.
Oh, fuck.
Thank goodness we have the instructional video.
I'm too busy thinking about Taco
Otherwise,
Bell.
who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke.
What is the
I'll
narrator
figure it out
on?
on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Yeah. Am I going all the way back? Should I turn around at some point? Narrator? I'm Dunny with the funny. Narrator, are you Dunny with the funny? I have a feeling he's not. He did not declare it in his loudest voice.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
No.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was
I mean,
meant
it
to.
happens sometimes.
And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake.
It doesn't.
I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing.
I'll take it.
I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional
Or am I gonna
video
watch it again?
Yes, surely. That will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready?
Okay, thank God.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Wait, hey, hold on. Hey, hold on. 1 minute. Where is my bucket sticker on my bucket? Where's my bucket sticker? What happened to that? What's going on? Where's my sticker? Narrator.
What? We're back at the phone already? Oh, no. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this was all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley.
Oh, please.
I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on.
Give me back my
you
sticker.
Couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Oh.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Let me try that again.
Good job, narrator.
I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in
narrator.
love with the bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery?
Brother.
Pale with shame. Pale with shame. Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. Getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these.
Babe.
Jokes. I need more instruction.
You tried.
That's exactly what it is.
You know.
That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More.
Sorry, Leroy.
Videos. Let's see.
Narrator, take me back, please. Alright, it's time. I think...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The last ending that we're gonna get for today. Maybe I'll be back. I'm enjoying this. We're gonna go get the confusion ending.
Everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
We're gonna get the confusion ending with the bucket and see what happens. Let's go.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Wow.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better?
No.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
No thanks. Let's go, Bucket. Hey, my bucket sticker is back. Good.
Oh,
I missed
Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh my god. What?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much.
My wife.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
What do you mean?
Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
What if I want to be in the broom closet again? Bark, bark. Bark, bark. Fine, let's follow the Adventure Line. Here we go.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Da, 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 da.
Now this This is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you
I was
remember
having a
all
good
those
time.
great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic
What?
now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's
Drugs
give them
and
more content
hookers.
exactly like this. But
It's a
if we
whole
want
comic.
to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
www.thisman.org. I don't want to go there. My name is Samuel Pepperman. You have used me for entertainment. Now it is time for me to use you for that same purpose. What is going on? What's happening? This is the confusion ending, but I'm very confused. Hello? Oh. Right. What? Where'd the textures go? Narrator, what were you saying? I don't listen to you, ever. Okay, let's just follow the adventure line, I guess. Da 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 da.
Don't you get it, Stanley?
No.
We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Wait,
wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
I don't.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then
No,
pop
I
it into
don't.
the machine when you're ready.
I don't want to. Can I turn it off?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows.
I don't want
That is
to.
its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits.
We need to
other
leave,
object in
narrator.
this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
You will never take my bucket. What is happening?
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the
Nakari,
moment
your
in
guess is
time
as
that
good
you
as
were
mine,
here,
by the way.
You were magnificent.
Bye, Bucket Destroyer. You're not touching my bucket. The fuck? So now I have to do it again, but throw the bucket in? Okay,
Just a
this
step
is
through
the
this door,
last
Stanley thought to
ending.
himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Period. Good for you, Stanley. Alright. Bucket. Bucket, I hate to do this to you, but we're gonna have to... We're gonna have to
It takes a lot
go...
of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
We're gonna have to go put you in the Bucket Destroyer bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting
Let's
room.
go.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge
I don't want
was
to
simply
destroy
the
my
place
bucket.
to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No,
I don't want to do
never
it.
mind. The
But it
bucket was
must
wrong.
be done.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Okay, Bucket. Just know that this is for your own good.
Oh, good, Stanley.
I
I'm
love
glad
you.
you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next?
I love the way he says whee!
And it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes. It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Bucket, I love you. Just know that I love you. I'll find you again someday.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket.
I can't destroy the bucket.
Is all it knows. That is its singular
personality
trait. Sure, I can
the
hear
bucket.
You saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon
I
of
was
beloved
never meant
Stanley
to
Parable
destroy it
characters?
after all.
Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire
No
to crush
way.
buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly
Goodbye,
not.
Bucket
I wonder
Destroyer.
what sort of Bucket
Goodbye,
Destroyer
Bucket.
merchandise the
I
fans
love
will be
you.
clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
It was me and the bucket all along.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized
This
creation.
is the best
You had
ending.
so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Yep. Wow. Incroyable. Well, there you have it. I'm positive that I forgot so many endings. I'm positive. There's no... I'm gonna quit the menu, see what the menu looks like. It's the Stanley Parable 2, yeah, of course. I'm positive that I missed endings. This game is so large. There's something on the whiteboard. Something on the whiteboard? What do you mean there's something on the whiteboard? In the meeting room? Should I go there? You've intrigued me.
This is...
Do I need to have my bucket?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Do I need to have my bucket? I'm going sin bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
What's
left.
the whiteboard say?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
There's so many.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What to do about 432? We can review. I don't get it. I don't understand. What am I supposed to see? Pie chart. Yeah, I'm not sure I know what's going on. Or broke Wednesday. Yeah, I don't, there's not, I have no idea. Is it, ooh. What are your dreams for the future? Metamorphosis. Excuse me. What's the whiteboard? Now I'm looking it up. And Nakari hates when I look stuff up. Whiteboard. Stanley Parable. I got the whiteboard ending. That's different. Sickening. Whiteboard ending. It's supposed to say turn the game off and on. Oh. Huh. Like if I just, like what, should I just like Alt F4? Or should I like go through the menu? Well, I went through the menu. We could try again. Wait, this is last time I entered the time, they said because you've entered the time, enter your favorite time. What's your guys' favorite time? No, 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 no. Of course not. Of course not. Ah, 4:20 p.m., your favorite time of day. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 4:20 p.m. is. Let's use another slider to find out. It's pretty inaccurate, but it's... Yeah, it's pretty inaccurate. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip a couple new ones up. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. I'm launching again. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Please adjust the slider until the dog and the cat are friends. Ah. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. Whoa. Taco Bell. That was the number 6 upside down, wasn't it? Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Which of the 2 made-up words below is most appealing to you? Occuboinkle or scrumtush? Scrumtush. Please don't adjust the slider. Do you know what time it is right now? Is the time that is right now the correct time? I think so. What is time anyway? No. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yeah. Help. What is happening? Will you come back to visit me? Oh my god, one more time. We gotta do one more time. We gotta. Just hang on. Man, I was so ready to end this. What time is it? Does anyone really, truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game's settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. And I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games are meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There's still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again if you can find me. Talk soon. Hello? Epilogue. Many, many years later. What's happening? It's the Lisan al-Gaib. What is going on? Whoa! What is happening? Yeah. I'm going to the moon. It's beautiful. Oh. The memory zone. Look at it. It's all broken. Whoa. What is happening? Narrator? Stanley? Cookie Nine's blog. The Stanley Parable 2. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. Cookie 9 did not change their opinion on the game. Is this the gym button? Gym. Stanley Parable blah 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 blah. Stanley Parable developers, no more spin-offs, no more sequels. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical and commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in a press release they published today. It's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want. We thought that we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been farther from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times. Get on the green. Oh, man. Jim. The Stanlerines. This is... Whoa. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Narrator? Oh. Hello again. It's nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developers said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense! Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we're going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Go ahead. Try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. Oh my god. Now, with added lawsuit. Oh, wait, forbidden lawsuit? Inspector Gunn. Now with added lawsuit. The Stanley Parable 3. Now with added lawsuit. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content, recycled again and again and again, with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Let's do it. Good! Then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you've put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright, there. The achievement machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're gonna keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself. Forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. Six. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. So wait. Can I get to the new content door?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't want the bucket. Yeah. Oh my god. I think it's someone else, right? It's gotta be someone else.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Let's frickin'
yes, you
go.
See, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Let's see if we can actually get this
Try out some
ending.
of the new features.
This achievement, not ending. New and easy achievement. Did the voice at the beginning lie to me? Not even voice, text.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
I got it.
As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement?
Yep.
Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago.
Oh my god.
Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh god.
I just want to see if anything.
Composure? Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
I did it. I did it. So is that it? Finally? I'm gonna quit and start. Come back here with the bucket. Okay, I'm gonna quit, start again, see if the title changes, and then go back with the bucket. This was supposed to end like 50 minutes ago. We're too far deep. Oh my god. It says the Stanley Parable 4. You can't see the 4 behind me. Stanley Parable 4. Hidden paperwork. Dude, it's heavy rain. No way. Give me my bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace. Protective, yet delicate. Assertive, yet compassionate.
Let's see what happens. Can I bring the bucket into the bucket room? What's gonna happen?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable.
Yeah,
and about how roundly disappointing
it's
this
gonna open this way.
ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Wow.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Truly.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
I'm gonna go to the bucket. Narrator, I already have a bucket. What are you gonna do about it?
Wait, there are 2 buckets here. How did you get a second bucket?
Don't worry about it.
No, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me?
Did I just get shot?
Stanley! Oh, thank God, I didn't lose you, Stanley. The
My
power
bucket!
of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy both of them. I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day you can forgive me.
Right. Oh, of course. Cool. Can I pick up another Stanley? Is it gonna say like 25 out of whatever or whatever? Oh, well, this is just great. Oh, well, isn't this just peachy keen?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2. Now, all right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah. How fucking dare he? Wait, so what happens if I already got the achievement? And I go back. Hold on. I want to see what happens to that. He destroyed my bucket. I don't have anything to live for anymore. Well, narrator, that's your fault. Congrats! The blood is on your hands.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. As you can see, the machine is not working yet since...
I already got it.
Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it.
Okay, it doesn't do anything
to it. I swear,
new.
it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure, composure.
Shut up,
yes,
narrator.
what else? What other exhibits haven't we
Shut up,
seen yet?
narrator. I'm sick of you. You destroyed my bucket. You destroyed 2 buckets. That's grounds for life in prison. No parole. Matter of fact, send him to death row. What am I supposed to do without my bucket? Alright, I'm out of here. Well, I think that's a good place to end it. We saw a lot more than I thought we were gonna see. And you know what? I'm glad we did. This was great. Maybe I will have to come back at some point and just see what else I can find. See what else is there. But that's all I have for you guys for today. I'll be back tomorrow with, gee, thanks. I'll be back tomorrow with more Stardew Valley. And next week we're gonna play some horror games, I think. I think it's time. But anyways, if you saw this, thanks. And if you didn't, that's okay too. Goodbye, everyone.